The giant Wrestlemania is running off. My God,
And we'll get started up in here. It's the what? It's the Four Corners Pod. It's BCK Putties. I'm gonna open up tonight's episode with a little promo because it's Wrestlemania season, right? So when you walk down that aisle and you step in between the ropes and you look around and you see them four corners, that means your ass better get ready because you're in for a main event matchup, whether it's me, my boy Slim, or my boy Weed. And if we're all three in the ring at the same time, it's a good time for us, but it may not be a good time for y'all. And when it comes to those belts and it's Mania season, I can't say his name because he's redacted from the Hall of Fame, redacted from WWE, but we go Chris Benoit this season. Like we go crazy. So
I was about to say I had to catch myself because I was about to say something that
we not on Netflix. We not on Netflix. We're the real CM Punk right here. We're the real CM Punk. We really say the voice of the voiceless.
I ain't gonna lie. I was about to say we killing everything.
Yes,
that would have been.
but guys, it's Mania season, right?
Cheer my eye. It's Mania season.
So what is
Mania season?
I'm just a casual person that you work with, right? Hey, I heard something about on the TV on ESPN WrestleMania. What is that?
Say that again.
I seen on the TV on ESPN this morning. I heard on ESPN radio they're talking about WrestleMania. What is that?
What is it?
Oh, go ahead, bro.
Nah, I'm gonna say go ahead.
So what Mania is to me, and I think I said this on our last episode, but what Mania is to me is the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. Like this is the big stage. This is where the big matches come, where all the wrestlers put their best foot forward and perform to the highest level that they can possibly perform it. This is the elite. This is like the peak of wrestling. Every wrestler dreams on being on the big stage. I don't care what company you wrestle for. I don't care if you wrestle for AEW, which I love AEW. I don't care what company you wrestle for. Every wrestler dreams of wrestling in WrestleMania. You cannot tell me any different. But yeah, that's what Mania is to me. It's the NBA Finals. It's the World Series. It's the Super Bowl.
It is. I was thinking about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what it means. The biggest of the biggest.
I couldn't agree with him more. That's what it. That's what I feel like it is. Because every sport got the championship, like he said, like the Super Bowl or whatever. It's just that big stage. You know what I'm saying? And for WWE, shit, really probably for wrestling, I could say that. You know what I'm saying? Like WrestleMania is that. You know what I'm saying? Started, and I wrote this down in my little notes. Started 1985. You know what I'm saying? And since then, been going. I'm terrible with math, so y'all do the 40. Yeah, what we on?
42? What is you say 85?
You said 85. That's 41 years. No. Yeah, that is 41 years, ain't it?
Yeah,
I know
this will be the 42nd WrestleMania.
42nd,
but yeah, it would be 41.
So, just think about this. This is going to be the 42nd WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? So, been doing something right.
What's crazy is the amount of superstars that have, from the start, the first main event with Hogan, it spanned all the way from the middle 80s to middle 2020s with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns as the main two main eventers of WrestleMania.
Sure, even
look at all them wrestlers. Look at all them wrestlers in between.
Yeah, I was gonna say even your Rock and Austin's, you know what I'm saying, your HBKs and
right.
all the other names that didn't wrestle in WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying?
But on the flip side, all the ones who didn't get a main event at WrestleMania. Sting never got a main event at WrestleMania.
Mm.
Diamond
There was
Dallas
no.
Well,
Page never got a WrestleMania main event.
I feel like,
It's so many stars that were deserving of a Mania, but the stars just didn't align for them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only so many people that have gotten to have the honor of having that spot as a main event in WrestleMania. So many legends that didn't get to see that. And I mean,
yeah,
and it's sad to see like, and you mentioned Sting, and and not to put well, I'm gonna just be real. Like that was one of the worst decisions they ever made with Sting and Triple H in Mania. Like that.
Yeah.
For one, it should have been Sting versus Taker. I think we all can agree on that.
yeah.
And for two, that match with Triple H, for one, you have Sting lose. Come on now, like Triple H could have
It
put him
made no
over.
sense at all.
Yeah,
No
and then
sense.
the whole DX and NWO shit. I just it just wasn't a good match for me.
It was the uncles, man. The unks.
Yeah, the Battle of the Unks basically is what it was.
And Vince was still in charge around that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
horrible call. That was a horrible call.
terrible.
Horrible call. That was a terrible call. Terrible. Yeah. That shit was awful. Like like you said, like that shit shouldn't have been nobody but Taker and Sting.
Mhm.
Because it's like you didn't already, and I don't even want to say like wasted their careers, but it's like we waited this long,
To finally
you
get
know
it.
what I'm saying, to finally, you know what I'm saying, be able to get it, and it's like you don't even give it to us, like, bro, you bullshit,
Yeah.
so
I
So for
really
me,
wish
like,
this.
go ahead.
Look, yeah, I'm just gonna say this real quick. I really wish that Sting had joined WWE when they first merged, when WWE first bought out WCW, and we probably would have got that match with Sting and Taker then.
we would've got a
That's all.
couple of them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's all I want to say. Though, go ahead, bro.
So I was gonna say for me, like WrestleMania is like what you said, the Super Bowl, the Vince ended up not liking the nickname, but they used to I don't remember if y'all remember it being called the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, that's,
Like
yeah,
that was a hard
granddaddy,
Oh
nickname
yeah.
to me. It was like that's like
yeah,
dang, that's the one that's been on for a while. It's got the longevity and then like with the Super Bowl, then you get up there with the numbers, like damn, it's been that many. And like you're finally getting up to like I could remember WrestleMania when I really started watching was like 17, 18, 19, like around then. And then going back and watching the earlier ones. So I'm watching WrestleMania go from 21 through damn near fucking 41 now. 40 we were on the horizon of 42 on Saturday and Sunday, even though I don't feel like it.
Mm.
But to me, it's
it
like,
go.
all right, this is where WrestleMania, the biggest stars are gonna have put on the biggest matches, and you're gonna. This is where the dreams are made of. Like, this is where you finally the wrestlers show that they're the best. But on some nights, it just don't click. Not every night do we get a Shawn and a Brett. Not every night do we get a Rock and a Hogan. Some nights we get a damn near a fucking Stone Cold and a Scott Hall, or we get a fucking what
Mm.
other matches didn't deliver that we thought the Brock and
Big
Goldberg,
Boss Man and Undertaker.
yeah, like all these matches that
Yeah,
we didn't get delivered, and then you have wrestlers like AJ Styles who you could argue has never put on a good match at WrestleMania, and then on the other
mm.
end you have Shawn Michaels who has a majority losing record but put on most of the time match of the night. So
And it's
it's
crazy,
like,
Mhm.
yeah,
yeah, it's crazy how it's just like the pressure just gets built up, and we watch WrestleMania grow from arenas to now stadiums. Like they can't go back to arenas for
yeah,
WrestleMania.
arenas, like you
And
said, arenas, man,
yeah, and it's like what's crazy is Rock and Austin, they never got to experience a stadium that Seth and a Roman have. But then speaking of
yeah,
Roman, the person they push so much for the past decade hasn't had a he's been at the main event for 10 straight WrestleManias, but if I ask y'all, can y'all name which one is a classic WrestleMania match?
To be honest, the only one that's closest to a classic is WrestleMania 40.
And would that be
Lost
because of the match itself or because of the moments in the
the
match?
moments, the moments.
That's what I'm
That's it.
saying.
Yeah, and that's why I ain't even. And that's why I'm over here quiet. You ain't lying though.
And so, like, the reason I'm just bringing it up is because WrestleMania is like, yeah, it's got this aura of being it. Like, yeah, come on. But then it's like that pressure. Maybe some it don't live up to the. For some,
But
they can't live up to that pressure.
why?
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. Like I don't know. Maybe am I probably thinking about it too deep? But why is that though? Because I mean, would y'all say like Roman is a like? Could y'all say like Roman is a good wrestler?
He's a
Like, do
good
y'all feel
wrestler
that?
when he's
Yeah.
motivated, and the other wrestler is a not is on the same level or a better wrestler. Because look at the matches he put on with Jericho, with AJ Styles, with Cena, and then you look at other matches where he puts on, like with Matt Riddle on a SmackDown for the WWE title. Probably the match.
Mhm.
It could have been match of the year. I think it was like in 22, like right after Randy got hurt. Like when
Mm-hmm.
he's motivated, he could work with the best of them. But then you get matches where he's just kind of like just doing the hits.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
And what happened with a lot of the matches with Roman early on is that we didn't want those matches or we didn't want him to be champion. And they were still, Vince was like, y'all are going to have him as champion.
Like they were
Yeah,
forcing.
Yeah. So that's a lot of
force
stuff
feeding.
that gets intertwined in Roman's career and why he has to, how he was able to turn the tide to get people to cheer him.
That's a good point.
It's a
So,
great
what's
point.
some of y'all favorite Mania matches? I guess I'll start. Macho Man and Steamboat.
Steamboat
I
WrestleMania
probably
3.
won't. I think it was WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
WrestleMania 3.
87.
the cream. Now, like I might not get. I might miss some of the WrestleMania or whatever. I might not get, but I'm gonna try. But then you know the cream of the crop promo. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite promos or whatever.
Oh,
Um,
and sidebar, Macho Man and the Dragon, two of the best wrestlers, not just of the 80s, but of all time.
for
Right.
real.
Like their match, like that's arguably you could say top three Mania matches to this
Yeah.
day.
Their, their chemistry was
To this
crazy in
day.
that match,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Man, they had crazy chemistry in that match.
I think I was watching I think it was his Dark Side of the Ring.
Who,
He said
Macho?
Macho Man Giant. Yeah, it was him and with him and Elizabeth or whatever, but I want to say it was that because they spoke on the Steamboat, that Steamboat match, and they was like they went over that match like a whole bunch of times, like
Yeah,
I'm talking
Macho
about like a
liked
lot
going
of
over
times.
his matches.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like they was like I'm talking about like to the T, like I'm gonna take a bump here, you gonna do this. Like it was I'm talking about like well laid out, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um so yeah, that was kind of cool to see too, you know what I'm saying? I think it was Dark Side of the Ring though. Um it could have been something else, but I'm pretty sure it was that. Like I said, Hogan and Warrior, I think that was what WrestleMania 6.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The Iron Man John with Sean and Brett, of
Or
course.
was that 12?
That was 12.
12. Yeah, when he first
Yeah.
won the title.
The boyhood dream has come
Mhm.
true. Sidebar, bro. Being the Shawn Michaels fan I was, let me just back down memory lane right quick, man. Bro, like when Jose Lothario came out there or whatever, and I'm
Man
like,
did
where that
this.
man at? That man pointed to the top, bro. That man came down.
That
He
was
was,
so epic, man.
man,
That
that shit was epic, bro. And the man was glistening coming down that giant
then he had
because
a white
man, stop
and gold to
playing.
Tyron
Man,
to
what?
match the belt.
Ooh, he was too hard out there. Man, was too hard out there. And like,
Yeah, man.
I feel like HBK is like one of them top wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? That attire wise, you know what I'm saying? Like him, Rey Mysterio, like Macho Man, like them folks right there, like they was, they put that shit on. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, Austin and Brett, that was what
Mhm.
13.
13.
Angle and Brock, and then I got a little section with some of my Taker matches real quick. I got Taker and Shawn the first joint. Um, Me and you was talking about this joint not too long ago, Shot Town, because I be forgetting the WrestleMania.
Which
Uh, the
one?
Ta- the Taker and Triple H joint where Taker had to get carted off at the end and shit.
Oh, 27.
Yeah, that joint.
For the
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
longest, for the
Go
longest,
ahead.
I thought that was real, bro. And until I saw the interview where Taker said that was a work, I thought he was like legit, had to be carried.
Man, me too,
Yeah.
fool. And then it was like, it felt so real because it's like, bro, they really put each other through it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, bro, Undertaker was still up there in age. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, like he had put that mind, like Triple H put him through the little pod or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? That was out there and shit. Like them folks
Mhm.
had a real to me. I can't even really I can't remember really too many like other matches that was on that John, but I'm talking about like, bro, when I got through watching that John, bro, like I was exhausted because it was like
Mhm.
every emotion was out because I'm like, damn, bro, like, but that was a great ass match. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
saying? Um, I like the Taker and Diesel joint at WrestleMania 12 for two big men. It was a good match. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, there was one of the times where I was like, damn. Diesel might beat this man because I watched that match kind of often, bro. Like he was getting the best of the Undertaker in that match too. Like he jackknifed that man like 3 times in the match, and I'm like, damn, this shit over with,
Yeah.
And then my last joint is Undertaker and Kane at WrestleMania 20 when he came back as the Dead Man. Quick sidebar again, and I'm gonna let y'all get it.
Mhm.
Undertaker is like was I would say my second favorite wrestler, and I feel like the Undertaker, like the dead man character. I feel like that's like in my opinion, that's probably like the greatest character that we'll probably ever see. Probably like aside Bray Wyatt. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it was the complete character. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, like he just had it. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
the
I want to
mystique
say
with it.
this.
Go ahead.
Look at how long he was able to portray that
To
image.
portray that. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
like that.
Yeah,
That's not something that you can easily do to portray that same type of persona for damn near your entire career because
yeah.
he wasn't the American badass for that long, bro.
Nah, he wouldn't. He
You know what I'm
wouldn't. You
saying?
know what I'm saying? And,
And for you to betray that image for that long and people not
yep,
get tired of it, like that's
yep.
amazing work.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
just the mystique of the character. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like I remember when he debuted Survivor Series, bro. The looks on them kids' faces, bro. Like that shit was priceless when you go back and
I
look
was
at
scared
it.
of his ass. I ain't gonna lie.
You see what I'm saying, bro? I
Yeah.
remember I remember when they came to the Coliseum, he didn't show up. It was just Paul Bear or whatever. But bro, when they hit the lights and the dong went off, bro, like I was there with my cousin, like we grabbed each other. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, that man, yeah, like and he, like I
Yeah.
said, he wasn't even there, but just to be there and hear the gong and shit like that, like man, I'm talking about that shit was crazy. I said Paul Bear was there, but he wasn't there, which was odd. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, them my matches though.
All right. So I'll go next. I ain't gonna lie, my list is kind of cliche. Um, but actually, Darius, I thought that me and you were gonna have more of the same matches. Cause how many did you name five?
Name one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Really nine. Cause
Yeah,
I
yeah,
named a couple of like mixes, and then I just had
yeah,
because Taker got so many matches. And
Yeah.
and that's what I was gonna say too when we was talking about Shawn Michaels being called quote unquote Mr. WrestleMania, and he got a losing record at WrestleMania. So it's like, to
yeah,
be honest, like if anybody should be called Mr. WrestleMania, bro, it's the Undertaker. And I felt like that streak should have
yeah.
never been touched.
All right,
Never
well,
been
yeah, we'll
touched.
touch on that next. We'll touch on because
I,
like
I,
both of those topics are really good topics we could touch on next.
okay. All right.
Yeah. but yeah, as far as some of my favorite Mania matches, again, Macho Man and Steamboat WrestleMania 3, that was 87. Um, this one is cliche, but that iconic moment of Shawn Michaels jumping off that ladder to splash Razor Ramon at WrestleMania 10, the
The
ladder
10,
match. I will say this
yeah,
though, the SummerSlam ladder match was better. But but
yeah.
but we're just talking about Mania though.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of my top matches. Another one I'll say. So Bret and Shawn Iron Man match. I don't know if it's in my top, but it's an honorable mention because when you look at the story that they told for a whole hour, that was the first hour long Iron Man match. And for you to be able to tell a story wrestling and not bore the people with the hour long match, I think was
Wow.
pretty amazing. And on top of that, again, what you said, Darius, the entrance of Shawn Michaels coming out, and it was an epic moment for him to win his first title in that match.
And then I'm gonna say this right quick too, just still
Mhm.
pertaining to that match. And then even though they went the distance, they still
Yeah.
went back in the ring and wrestled a little bit more after
Yeah,
that. You know what I'm
overtime.
So
saying?
yeah.
So yeah, overtime. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that just to me, that just goes to show you what type of caliber of wrestlers both them folks was.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's all I want to say.
But yeah, Sean and Brett WrestleMania 12 is an honorable mention for me. I'm gonna jump around. Speaking of Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. Was that 20? Was that 21?
Yeah,
WrestleMania
21.
21? Uh-huh, yeah. Yeah, that was an epic match to me. And I'm gonna just list all the HBK ones. Of course, my all-time favorite WrestleMania match is HBK versus Undertaker WrestleMania 25. um when you talk about storytelling, even when it came to the entrance, to the entrances,
Mhm.
Shawn Michaels coming from the top, Undertaker rising from the
Going from the
bottom. You know what I'm
bottom.
saying?
Yeah, it's
Like all
hard.
that storytelling was just so epic to me, man. Um, and I'm gonna do another honorable mention for HBK. Well, actually, not for HBK, more for Austin, but WrestleMania 14. It wasn't the best match, but it was a great moment, I think, for Austin winning that first title and really solidifying the Attitude Era.
Yeah, and the start of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
mhm. And what else will I say as far as the top match? I'll say this is cliche, but Austin and Rock is 17.
The heel turn?
Austin,
01?
yeah. So like and I kind of compare this to when John Cena turned heel. Him turning heel was epic, but the heel run just didn't live up to the hype of him turning
Mm-hmm.
heel.
And
For
what's
me.
crazy is Austin, he said he felt in his gut that he shouldn't have turned heel that night. He should have called an
Mhm.
audible.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, Brett and Austin WrestleMania 13, that the epic submission match where Austin faces bleeding and he's straining while he's in the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
End up putting it back on his black and red Austin 316
That
shirt.
shit's so hard. That
My
shit's so
yeah.
hard.
Right.
And that was a good ass match too in general,
It
man.
was incredible. And that
Yeah.
match stole the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what was that? Was that the main event with Psycho Sid and Undertaker? Was that the main
Yeah,
event of that
Undertaker
Mania?
stole all
Uh,
they little thunder. Yeah. Stole
yeah.
all they little thunder.
Hmm.
Yep, Undertaker
Um,
came back in the gray. That shit was so hard. He came back in the gray that
yeah.
night. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
This shit was hard. And I ain't gonna lie, this is an unpopular opinion, but Austin and Rock's match in Mania 15 was actually pretty good. It ain't. I know it gets a bad rep, but that was actually a pretty good match to me. And I actually just rewatched it the other day, and I was like, this match really. I know everybody praises the WrestleMania 17
I'll go
one,
back and watch it.
but the Mania 15 match was not bad at all, bro. If you ask me, and I'll put that as an honorable mention too in the height of the Attitude Era. Um, and I would say those are ones I can think of off the top of my head when I think about Mania.
That's some good matches, and
Mhm.
yeah, I kept it in the kind of early '90s. So I'm gonna spread it out a little bit. I'm gonna spread the little WrestleMania butter over the bread a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm finna say,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm finna
Take
just
this
name
royal
off some
jelly.
matches that people should check out, and that are some of my favorite go-tos. We'll start off with WrestleMania 17, the ladder match for the tag titles, where Edge spears Jeff
Mhm.
Hardy in the middle of the air.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
well,
Mhm.
let's see, we'll go. We'll do '04. We'll do that triple threat match. Sean, Benoit, and Triple H.
That was a good ass
That's
match,
a bro.
man.
Yeah.
Everybody's busted wide open. 40 minutes, a classic. And then
Yeah, that was
and
a good
then
ass
and then
match.
Eddie comes
Yeah,
out at the
yeah.
end of the match, and him and Benoit hug, best friends throughout the business with the world titles.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
Man,
lie, I shed a tear, bro, when I first
yeah,
saw it. I ain't gonna
And
lie.
then to be honest, bro, I did not know Benoit was gonna like I had no idea he was gonna win that jump, bro. When he won that jump,
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's what's up,
No,
yeah.
man.
nobody thought Benoit was gonna
Yeah.
win it.
And
Nobody
then
thought so.
we'll jump the next year, and just as a whole, WrestleMania 21 from top to bottom, because it really solidifies that next generation of superstars with opening the show with Ray and Eddie. You have a upper mid Carter main eventer in Rey Mysterio that you have for the next 20 years. And then you
Mhm.
go into the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match where Edge wins it, and you have a main eventer for the next 5 years. One of the best heels of all time. And then you go with Randy Orton against Undertaker, the legend killer, trying to
Mhm.
defeat the streak, and he loses, but he shows that he can hang with the best, and they go on to have a year-long feud. And then
Hmm.
you have John Cena beating JBL for the WWE title. You have Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle, and then you have Batista beating Triple H for the World Heavyweight title in the main event. Like you just look at the star power in those matches. It's crazy that they're the ones that go on to rule the WWE for the next decade plus.
Yeah, nah,
And
let me say this right quick too. That Undertaker and Randy Orton feud, that was a good feud too, though, man.
yeah,
Like a lot of those, I don't necessarily like you would call them like I guess you would still call those promos. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like with the caskets and all that kind of stuff. And I remember one time he's like, "You look lost, boy."
yeah.
Yeah, that shit just hard, man. But yeah, 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 yeah.
And then you go WrestleMania 23, Shawn and Cena for the WWE title, Batista and Taker for the world title. That's probably my favorite build up to a WrestleMania, because you had Undertaker winning the WrestleMania, eliminating Shawn Michaels at the Royal Rumble. Then you go on to have Triple. All right, so it starts off WrestleMania 22. Cena beats Triple H. The rumor is that they're going to build towards Triple H versus Cena 2 at WrestleMania 23, and Triple H is going to get the win back. But he famously blows his other quad out at New Year's Revolution 2007 in a tag team match with Shawn against Randy Orton and Edge for the tag titles. So Sean finishes the match, and I think Edge and Randy end up winning the match. So Sean ends up going on to WrestleMania. I mean, Royal Rumble almost winning, and then they do the tag match, Taker and Batista against Cena and Sean at No Way Out 2007. Cena and Sean win the tag titles from damn, who did they win it from? Oh, from Randy and Edge. And they hold on to the
Mhm.
titles, and then they go on to that mania. So that's one of my favorite builds. And then just go throughout Daniel Bryan's road to WrestleMania, where he beats Triple H in the first match to go on to face Batista and Randy for the unified titles, and he wins. CM Punk versus Undertaker at WrestleMania. Damn, what year was it? WrestleMania 29, I think. And
Yeah.
then I'm trying to think of the
That's crazy
Usos.
how long ago that was.
Yeah, the Usos and
Yeah.
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens from 2 years ago, WrestleMania 39. Cody and Roman, first ever WrestleMania 39. That match was
Mhm.
good in the ending when Roman pinned Cody. we're like, who was gonna beat Roman? I think at that point
Yeah.
that was at the
Did you
top.
finish the
That
story?
was the top of the bloodline. Like, bro, who's left to beat him? There's nobody left. And we're like, damn, where do we go from here? And
I'm over here
they
tripping
somehow
though.
they made it work.
He ain't lying though.
And then shit
Cause
just
I'm
went
like,
downhill after 40.
yeah, that
But don't
shit
get me
went down.
started.
Shit's
Don't
Creek
get me
after
started.
40. Yeah, he ain't
Yeah.
lying. Cause 40, that's when Cody finally win, right?
Yeah,
No,
yeah. Which
for
Ah, yeah.
no 40,
that
yeah,
was the
40. Yeah, 40. He finally
Yeah,
wins
he
at
won
40.
there 40. Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
was
like
the
we
peak
said, that
of the
shit been
modern
going
era
on.
right
Yeah.
there.
That was
That was the
wild.
peak of the modern era right there. It was WrestleMania 40. And that shit just then went downhill from there.
All right, so we were talking
Mm.
about you said who was Mr. WrestleMania, and one of the names that kept coming up was Undertaker. And y'all hinted at the most wins. So when we talking about Mr. WrestleMania, who what do you think should we could take into consideration the most?
Well you said what do we think we should take into consideration the
Yeah, the
most?
most. Like, what do you take in consideration most? Because I would say
To consider some
the match quality.
mm, that I would agree with it. Yeah. Now match quality, match wins. That's cause yeah, those two would be I feel like the top two. You know what I'm saying? Because you couldn't necessarily say appearances because shit, you appearing in that Johnny, you losing.
Yeah,
You know, like that's kind of a slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? Because in the sense that like we compare it to like the Super Bowls and all that, that's like the Buffalo Bills was constantly going all those years, and and they lost. And they lost all those years that they went. So I wouldn't necessarily say appearances, but like you said, I would say match quality
and
and
wins.
wins. Yeah, and wins.
Yeah. While we were fixing our technical difficulties, asked off camera if we weren't to name Sean or Taker. So Taker's got the most wins with 25 and 20. No, is it 25 and 2? Yeah, I think he's
Um,
25 and 2. Did he really get do 27 WrestleManias?
right.
Yeah, yeah, I think only Brock and Roman has beaten him at Mania.
Yeah, he's 25 and 2. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, 25
25
and
and
2.
2. Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
Taker's got the most wins, and Sean has some of the most losses. I think he's like 5 and 8 or something like that, or 5 and 13. So
Damn.
yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
terrible, terrible, bro.
And so I wanted to ask, who did y'all think filled out the rest of the top wins?
So
Whoever has
who
the
else
most all times after Taker.
It has to be
after
John Cena.
Taker?
Yeah. So you said Cena.
Yeah.
Cena's the next. He's number 2 with 11 and 6. His record is 11 and 6.
Yeah.
Who's after
And I was
Cena
just gonna
though?
say it then it had to be Cena because it's like probably Triple H if I had to say.
Triple H.
I'm just thinking
Yeah.
about the
Yeah.
Triple
longevity
H
of their
is
careers and shit.
Triple H is 4 and he's 10 and 13.
So who is number three then? Hold on.
Wait. So what's
Um,
some? Um.
damn, who is
And
number three?
all right,
Would
so
it
we're
be
missing
Edge?
3. Yeah, Edge is 3 with 10 and 4.
Wow.
And then the number 5 spot is a three-way tie between is a three-way tie.
Bret Hart then it gotta be in there somewhere. And then like I think about like because he wrestled with like the Hart Foundation and all that kind of shit. So it's
Brett's
like
not in
I'm
the
pretty
top
sure that
5 wins of
that's
all time.
crazy.
Brendan.
Okay.
I don't think he wrestled enough
Let's
to
see.
be in that. He didn't wrestle enough manias to be in that list. I don't think.
Uh, where Where's his record at?
Because after what his last Mania match
Shit, Orton got to be in there
was
somewhere. Then
97.
Bret Hart is 8-6 at WrestleMania. All right, so you said who D? Who did he say?
I don't know. He went out though.
I ain't say nobody.
I thought you said somebody after
Uh,
Bret.
nah, I think I did. Shit, Randy Orton. Then they got to be in there somewhere.
Yeah, Randy has 9 wins.
Shit, my brain hurt now. I probably can't give you no more after him.
Mm.
Randy Orton's record is 9 wins, 11 losses. As of
9 wins and 11 losses.
Mm.
as before Saturday,
Well, it'd be 10 wins, 11 losses.
hopefully. All right, 2 people left.
Okay. So we already said Taker, Triple H, John Cena.
It's
Dang, I don't want to say it. Hulk Hogan.
gotta be.
Oh wait, hold on. This might have. I might have. It might not be a two. It might be a two-way tie, not a three-way
Even though
tie.
I hate Hulk Hogan, but Hulk Hogan gotta be in there. Cause they had yeah.
All right, let me check. Let me double check.
Yeah, cause shit, he was in like the first 6 WrestleManias or something like that, damn it,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Okay, so no, so the person I had instead, so Hogan and Kane was one of the people I had, but
I was
Hogan and
gonna fucking
Kane
say
are
Kane.
both at 8 wins.
Kane?
8 wins. So
I said
Orton,
Kane?
yeah, Kane has 8.
I
Kane's
That
was
shit
record
not
is
remind me
expecting
of
that.
like that shit remind me of when Wayne was like,
Gucci
Gucci
Mane.
who?
Gucci Mane, yeah.
Gucci man. That man
Kane
said
is in that
Kane.
list. I mean, no disrespect to Kane, but I was not expecting him to be in that list.
And that many WrestleManias though?
8 and
Yeah, like
11.
he's 8 and 11. You said,
Yeah.
Hell yeah, 'cause he lost two on to Undertaker.
hell yeah, 14.
All
One.
right. So the other person that is 9 wins is Roman Reigns.
Why didn't I think of
Roman
him?
Reigns,
Why didn't I
Roman,
think of Roman
Roman
Reigns?
Reigns.
Main event 11 manias. I don't know why I didn't think of him.
That
Yeah,
is
he's nine
insane
and
to think
four.
about. And he got a winning ass record.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Finna be 10-4.
Let's
That's
let
Mr. WrestleMania.
let's run down his WrestleMania matches. Let me look it up real quick. Let's do that.
Shoot, a few of them are underwhelming.
Let's go. Let's see.
He put the Undertaker down for the second time.
And that match wasn't good. We'll go off the rap. We'll go off the rip. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right, 20. All right, I almost said 20. His first WrestleMania was a 6-man tag Shield against Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Big Show.
Terrible.
Yeah, that would have been okay. Kane. All right, so what you want to do? 0-1
Dang.
then? 0-1.
Yeah, yeah, 0-1.
All right.
And he had
Yeah. Kane against all right, it's the Shield again against Kane and the New Age Outlaws for some in
I don't
2014.
even remember that match. I ain't gonna lie.
0-2.
It opened the show, I think. It was a
He
squash match.
0-2.
All right. Brock, and then it turns into Brock and Seth and Roman.
Really,
Seth
really, that
saves that
was
match, so I
yeah,
would say 1 and 2.
Yeah.
that was the moment. That was the heist. The heist of
The
the
century, yeah.
decade. Yeah, the century.
And then it goes to against Triple H in 2016 for the world title.
Nobody wanted to see that.
So 1 and 3. Undertaker 1 and 4. Brock Lesnar 1 and 5.
Five.
Then he faced Drew in 2019. No,
2019 was a horrible year for
no. Hold on. Wait a
WWE.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Was
Shot was
it?
showing me that. Shot was showing me that shit at work anyway. 2019 was a horrible year.
Terrible. Because I wasn't really watching it then in
Me
2019.
either.
Yeah,
Damn. Was it
that shit
you?
was terrible.
2019 was a horrible year. Damn,
All
I forget
right.
what he was
Sorry.
showing me. He was
Yeah.
just showing me that shit the other
Yeah. It
day.
was a horrible. It was horrible.
What was some of that shit we was seeing?
The literally Roman and Drew a feud, but I didn't know they fought at Mania. I didn't even remember they fought at Mania.
Horrible.
I didn't know that.
Leah Morgan had a relationship with Lana.
Yeah, a
Like
lesbian
that shit was
angle.
just yeah, that shit was just all bad.
All right, so then you go 2021 against Edge, Danny Bryan. So he's at this point. Uh, I'm gonna
One and
I'm gonna
six.
count the first Shield main event. I'm gonna count the first Shield as one.
Fuck all that.
I'm gonna count it as one because seeing the Shield for the first time at Mania is a moment. So I have
Okay.
1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, 1-7, 1-8. No, hold on. 2-8 because we counted
Two,
the
yeah,
Seth
two
one
eight.
2-8,
Yeah,
2-8.
2-8.
So the Edge and Danny
But that was really
Bryan.
because of Seth.
Yeah, that was
It
really good.
wasn't
So
even
it was really,
because of
yeah,
Roman
but
Reigns.
it's 2-8. It's 2-8. It's 2-8.
Yeah.
That shit's
All right,
still
so
bad.
then
And then it's crazy. He really, so to be honest, he really 0-8.
really, so yeah, so all right, so Edge and Danny Bryan, so that was a good triple threat match where he pins both of them. So that'll be 3-8. The
Which
Brock,
which match was that? Which
Edge and
match you
Danny
say?
Bryan, the triple threat,
Oh, okay.
and
I don't
then
remember that shit. I ain't gonna lie to
and
you.
then the Brock and then the Brock the unification match for the
Yeah,
universe.
yeah,
That one was probably their best match. So I
Yeah, I was gonna say that match was pretty
yeah,
good.
and then
yeah. Nah, I
Cody
remember that one. I give you that one.
and then
Yeah,
Cody
yeah.
and then the two Cody back to back.
Both of
Both
them was
matches were good. And then the tag match with
but
Rock.
I like the first one better though.
but yeah, that's what I say. Like, well, if you're talking about just like a pure match, 39. But if you're talking about moments, 40.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, but you still count those towards it. So I would say, and then the triple
Yeah, yeah,
threat
yeah.
with Seth and Punk last year. So I would say he kind of
That was
even
a hell of a match, honestly.
he fit. I would say he's batting 50-50 at this point.
Who? Roman?
Roman, yeah, because he does.
fifty
Man.
Because if
fifty.
you count, if you
Them ain't
count,
75. Them ain't
no,
75
if you
25.
count from 21, if you count from 21 to
Hmm.
25, and then include this year's, that's a 7-year run of good WrestleMania matches.
Mm.
From hold on, from you said from when?
From the triple threat with Edge and Danny Bryan, all the way with then you go Brock at 22, in 22, then you do Cody at WrestleMania, I mean, in 23, and then you do Cody Seth 24, and the tag match with Rock, and then you do the next night with Cody, and then the next year is Punk, Seth, and Rock, I mean Roman, and then now this year Punk and Roman. So he gets up to like fit. I would say a little less than 50-50. I think he has the. But I think it's
50.
between him and Edge that are at Mr. WrestleMania. I think Roman and Edge.
Yeah.
If it's not Shawn or Taker, I think it's one of those two.
And then like we were saying too, like the first time when, the first time and Cody fought and Roman Reigns beat Cody, it was like, damn, is anybody gonna beat
That
this
can
man?
anybody beat Roman now?
Yeah.
So it's just like I think those two. Cause Cena like is one of my favorite wrestlers, but I'm gonna be honest, he doesn't have the best matches at Mania. Like he has like okay matches, but some of them aren't good. Like he's had a couple triple threats, like the one with Triple H and Orton that
Mhm.
wasn't good. That one with Edge and the Big Show the following year. Like it's only memorable because he hosted up Big Show and Edge on his shoulders.
Hmm.
And then like with Triple H, a lot of
Yeah,
his
that was a hell of a moment. But yeah, you're
yeah,
right. That was a moment, but that match.
yeah. And like with Triple H, his I feel like if he had better moments, better if the matches went a different way, his WrestleMania he would probably be Mr. WrestleMania. but they didn't go out too well. Like I said, like that WrestleMania 24 where Orton and Cena didn't do too well. The ending to the Booker T and Triple H match at WrestleMania 19. Him and Jericho going on, but after Hogan and Rock, like if some of the stuff was dealt a little bit better, then maybe Triple H is Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, we'll keep it moving to try to get him. Oh, there he goes.
I just had to join on my phone. My laptop, my laptop messing up.
Okay, I was just saying, I think like if Triple H had a better, like even if not saying if he just lost more at WrestleMania, he would be better, had be better in consideration to me for Mr. WrestleMania. It's just some of the matches, like if they went a different way, just a little bit, he would have a better record. I feel like, I mean, not a better record, but like a better argument to be Mr. WrestleMania outside of Edge and Roman.
Yeah. Cause it's
Yeah,
like he lost some good matches like that junk with the Undertaker. At 26, 27, I can't remember. He that was a good match. But of course he wasn't going I don't think that was gonna happen in the street. And then even at WrestleMania 20, that triple threat match was good.
Yeah,
yeah. With HBK and
Yeah, HBK and
uh
Benoit. Yeah.
huh.
Benoit. That shit's so funny, he called that man that. But yeah, that was a good match. Cause like I said too, I wasn't expecting Benoit to win that match. So and like I said, shit, if he probably even win that giant, that might have, you know what I'm saying?
damn, the other person I would throw, because like we were naming some that we like, damn, like Stone Cold, he didn't have a lot of WrestleMania compared to
Hmm.
Yeah,
like that. It's Kurt Angle, bro. I don't think he ever
Yeah.
missed, because what he started his first one, I could be wrong, was I think a triple threat with Jericho and Benoit for the Intercontinental and European, and then I think he goes on to do a a match with Kane the next year, and then he goes into um oh 02, that was Kane. So then he does Brock 03, 04 he
mhm.
does Eddie, 05 he does Shawn, 06 Orton and Ray, and then that's it until he comes back and faces Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and with Ronda Rousey, and then he faces Baron Corbin to end. Like who has a
I
better
think I
run of
had a hell of
matches
a
than
run.
that?
Yeah, and they are our quality matches.
What could have
Good
been, man?
quality. Yeah, I we good at, but that only would have been if Brett never left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brett probably would have had a nice little WrestleMania streak if he would, like you said, if he wouldn't have left.
I think we can argue and say that. Well, I won't even say argue, but Brett leaving WWE was a terrible decision on his part,
All
Oh
right, so
yeah,
career wise.
let's
Hmm.
play WrestleMania game. All right, so Brett stays. We convinced Brett to stay. To like it'll be okay. He still loses to Shawn. All right, who do you have him? Let's just book it until let's say WrestleMania like 21. That gives him like another 10-year run. So all right,
Hmm.
WrestleMania at 98, who would he fight?
So,
Hmm.
so
So we
still,
still, yeah. Would y'all do a
so we
triple
still have.
threat? Sean, Brett, and Austin?
Ooh. Nah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say this. Nah, I'm 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 gonna go left. I'm gonna say no because still have Austin versus Sean, where Austin wins the title. Because what I want to do is have Brett versus Austin for the title at 15.
I also have Austin be it for a year.
Mm-hmm. Have Austin had the title for a year, and instead of instead of Austin, have Brett versus Austin. Have the Rock face.
Oh,
Have,
if you're fixing that, then I would say, then have Brett face Taker at that Mania, and then the next year do Taker and Rock.
the actually what I was about to say was have dang I lost myself. So okay, so have Brett face Austin at 15, have Rock face Undertaker at 15.
Yeah,
That way we eliminate that bullshit Hell in a Cell match between the Undertaker and Big Boss Man.
yeah.
We eliminate that.
Got a whole
Um,
lynching in the damn ring.
exactly,
I'm
exactly.
saying ain't no fucking way.
We we take that out of the equation. And what did I say? Mania in Mania 14. What did I say? Still have Austin beat HBK for the title. What would I do with Brett at 14? Um,
No, I said do Taker then.
do Taker instead of Taker versus Kane, do Taker at
Oh,
14?
that was Taker versus Kane. See,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
that
hard
was
part. Yeah.
yeah. Because I thought about that, but nah, I don't want to take that out. What I need to
Unless
pull up
he
the
unless he
card.
comes back after Mania, the night after Mania, and
Mm,
confronts
mm,
Austin.
yeah, yeah. But then I have Brett miss, but that still makes sense what you said. Because what was the card for WrestleMania 14?
Austin and
Austin
Sean.
Michaels.
The New Age Outlaws against Mick Foley and Terry Funk.
Trying to
Uh,
saw
That was a
Charlie.
dumpster
and
match.
Chainsaw
Yeah.
Charlie. Kane and Taker. Uh,
Yeah.
Let
damn,
me,
that's all I can remember.
bro. That the first time when they put them folks in that dumpster food, and I think that was Raw. The first time they
Yeah,
did that, and they pushed them off that junk food. I said, bro, ain't no fucking way. Yeah, that was wild. That was some wild shit.
but dang, I think that triple threat that did sound good though. Austin, Brett, and Sean.
Oh yeah.
And then of course, let's say so 99. I would do if you do. Oh no, then that would be the rematch with Brett and Austin, he said. So then for 2000, who would you do?
Yeah.
2000. Let's see who.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania 2000. We taking that bullshit 4-way match out of the equation, and we would have had. We could have had. Dang. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. WrestleMania 2000. We could have had Brett versus Triple H.
I feel like that would have been a good match.
Yeah,
Hell
I was about to
yeah.
say that. I was about to say that.
And we could have had Rock. We could have we could have continued to build that feud with the Rock and Mankind and had them have their own separate match.
Well,
And
they only brought man McFoley back to do that Fatal 4-way. So he might not even come back then. He would have needed to come back
ah,
then.
so would it be the Rock and the Big Show?
Yeah, the Rock and Big Show, or maybe Rock and Austin.
Rocking on.
Oh
Okay, yeah,
wait, no, he had the neck injury.
yeah. Austin was out.
The Rock would just have to do maybe, yeah, Rock and Big Show.
Yeah, and then 17.
We could do Rock, Brett and Angle.
Yeah, we could do Brett Angle and Rock and Austin. That's when we get Rock and Austin. Then
Finally, yeah.
yeah. Which the wrestling culture says that was their best match anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
then
So
so WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania 18, that's when NWO's comes in. And would you
yeah.
do Hollywood Hogan and Brett, or would you do Hollywood Hogan and Rock still? Or would you
I
do
don't know
maybe
because that was I forgot to mention that match earlier. That I ain't gonna lie, as much as I hate Hogan, that's the Hogan versus Rock is one of my favorite matches ever. That's the one I forget. I should have wrote it down, But yeah, that's the one that I forgot to mention was Rock versus Hogan.
Hmm.
I'm keeping that. I ain't gonna
Oh,
lie,
maybe
because that.
maybe Booker T.
Ooh.
Because he
Or I was gonna
faces, I think he
say,
faces Edge at that Mania.
this: replace Austin with Brett versus Scott Hall.
Yeah, but I was more so doing a match that we would have never seen before. Because
Yeah,
wouldn't
okay.
have they fought in the early,
Yeah.
and then '03 you could really do Brett and Brock,
Ooh.
a young
Now that
Brock
would be.
Lesnar.
One of the main is you could have got Brett and Brett and Kurt.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
when we did in '01.
Hmm.
And then you know who comes in '03, but this time they don't have beef. Bill
Who?
Goldberg.
Uh,
No.
They don't
oh,
have beef then.
I
They
didn't
don't
put.
have beef then.
I ain't gonna lie, even with them, I feel like even with them not having beef, like despite all the beef, he's not a good wrestler. I
Nah,
wouldn't
he's
want to
not. I
see,
just want to hear what y'all say.
I wouldn't want to see him in I just feel like certain people shouldn't even get in the ring with, like bro, you shouldn't even get in the ring with that, man, and I feel like whoever in WCW, they should have seen it
Yeah.
and probably could have, called that audible, like real talk, like, I only look at Goldberg as a squash wrestler in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he
Yeah.
can't put on good matches. You know what I'm saying? So it's like two, three moves, and he need to be on his way up out the ring. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. And when niggas say two or three moves, that third move need to be the jackhammer.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Punch. Spear.
yeah, I would have loved to see just a Bret Hart and Benoit match. I don't know if it probably would have lived up to be a full blown feud or whatever, but I would have just liked to see that just for wrestling purposes only, I guess.
Wait, did we ever get Brett versus Jericho?
Mm,
I don't think so.
Been
no.
there somewhere.
Nah,
Cause when Brett was on his when Brett he left in '97. He didn't did he show up right after?
Yeah.
And Jericho debuted in
Um,
'99. I don't think they fought.
this is a must win for WWE because last year Mania, it didn't live up to it, and this build up sure as hell isn't living up to it right now.
does Paul lose his job for two bad WrestleManias back to back?
He needs to.
It's looking
Damn.
like it. But thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. We hope y'all enjoyed y'all's time. We thank y'all for pulling up just to hear about WrestleMania and just what the season means and just the build has been slow. Just keep it a buck. It's been slow.
It's
We
Yeah.
been
just got to
slow.
get through Saturday, Sunday, and maybe we'll finally like we talk about it so much, we complain about it so much, but hopefully we do get a new era starting on Monday in a week's time. Hopefully it's a breath of
Yeah.
fresh air after this mania. Like we wipe our hands with everything and we start fresh and we get some good new storylines. But thank
I,
y'all. It's been a pleasure. Um, it's been a pleasure hosting with my guys. So I'll let them close off with their final thoughts. BCK Pretties. You can find me on Instagram, Majin_Montana. You can find us on YouTube, Four Corners Pod, the same on Instagram. But I'll let y'all take it away.
What does the WrestleMania after effect look like to you guys? And we'll touch on it next episode, because I know we'll be able to touch more on what's going on, leading up,
mhm.
I know we're gonna do one more before Mania actually,
Yeah.
drops. So, I'm gonna, say, like I said, just ponder on it. What do y'all want the company to look like
Going
after,
forward.
going forward, after WrestleMania or whatever. So, and I'm gonna leave it
Well,
at that.
completely different from this, but right now the rumors that we're gonna get a tag match with Randy Orton, Pat McAfee, Cody and Jelly Roll. So
Yeah, don't piss
it
me
don't look
off.
like they listening to
Yeah, don't
nobody.
even do that.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah.
I'm begging y'all. Like, if anybody from WWE Creative listen to this podcast, do not do this shit. We don't want to see it. And I say this, I'm saying this on record. If y'all book that shit for Backlash, I'm not watching it. So
Oh
whenever y'all
shit.
discuss this shit, I'm gonna just be quiet because I'm be like,
What's
I
it?
ain't
You know
watching
they
What's
finna book it, man.
shit. They can't, man. That's gonna be terrible. Like this, I don't know if this is the worst build up to a Mania, but it's definitely one of them for sure.
It is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, honestly. But
Yeah, I'd be highly disappointed if that is the main event though. I'd be highly disappointed.
yeah, then it looks like AEW because what's in May? What's their is it
Double
Double or
or
Nothing?
nothing. Yeah.
Double or Nothing. Yeah, it look like they about to 3-0 Mania. I mean WWE because Revolution was better than Chamber.
It's been like that for a while, man.
Yeah, it has. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, I don't want to rant too much, but y'all know how I feel about that shit. But yeah, man.
Mhm. Until next time, slap nuts.
Oh man,
All
signing
right,
off,
man.
man. Four corners.
Four corners out.